Hello and welcome to this session brought to you by the Academy of Practical Accounts in conjunction with your institution. In this session, we'll look at the recording of a payment for a previous year tax. It is a current liability. It was tax computed for the previous financial year. And because that tax is paid after the end of the previous financial year, then in the new year, it starts as a current liability. Okay, so we're going to identify the source document, record the transaction, trace the double entry, and identify the affected accounts. Now, we got two possible source documents. It could either be a receipt from the Revenue Authority having received the money, or it could be a payment voucher prepared within the business. Now, in this case, we're going to use this payment voucher. And it's a payment for tax for the previous year. Now let's get to our device. How do we identify this money owed for the previous year? Now, under normal circumstances, it's recorded as one of the opening balances at the start of the financial year. Now let's see. Let's proceed to these. Actually, if it was recorded as an opening liability, then it should still be there because we haven't yet come across a payment document and nothing of that nature has been received. So let's see if we can start at the dashboard overview. So we start here, we scroll down, pinch a little bit, and we get to the balance sheet. Now, what are the current liabilities here? We're looking at 4,384. What makes that up? Let's go to the balance sheet. Now we pinch this a bit to the balance sheet. It should be among other current liabilities. So the 4,384 is made up of that 30 for trade creditors and 4,354 for other current liabilities and accruals. So we click 26, that's not 26, to take us to some bit of detail. Here we find that 234 is, okay, we've got account 234. Let's see the balances here. Good, okay. Let's expand it and drag it to the left. There's 100,729. Okay, let's look at the grand totals. There's 100, 844, 3410. So there's account 234, 236, and 254. Outstanding tax. Balance brought forward of 3410. Now let's go to the detailed accounts. Two detailed accounts here. Okay, now we got accruals, loan repaid. This should be an error here on the 30th of March, document number 8, and that is transaction number 17. That 100 that was updated on the bank statement in session 23. We made a mistake there because it was a rushed process. So we need to go back and correct this one. This is supposed to be a loan repaid of 100. That's where the narration has been so helpful. So we're going to correct transaction number 17. Okay, let's go back to module 2 miscellaneous. Now we scroll down, we get to transaction edit. Now we can use this search box to get transaction number 17 very quickly. You can use it by either the transaction number, document number, or amount. So we type in 17 and it comes on screen. Now 17 is here. This is the transaction. So the accruals account was credited by error. This entry was supposed to be made to, I think, the bank account. Now, what was the mistake in here? Oh, yes, this is a duplicated transaction. Let's have a quick look at the bank account. We're now investigating. So, because we remember, this appears on the bank account, but, so it's not the one. Alternatively, let's type in the transaction amount of 100. It should appear 4 times or twice to confirm that it's an error. Let's see. Yeah, transaction 17 and again transaction 21. So what happens is it was first recorded as part of transaction 17, and that's where the error was because we couldn't see it on the bank account, and we recorded it again as transaction number 21. Now, before we delete transaction number 21, which was actually recorded later, well, yes, in that case, I think, well, we need to record one of the two. And which one should it be? Now, 21 has been reconciled on the bank statement. Let's have a quick look at that one. Let's see what has been reconciled on the bank statement and probably save that one. But okay, there are two ways of correcting this, and both of them would be correct. That means we're going to leave only one transaction. Now let's go back to the bank statement reconciliation, bank reconciliation form. We click P3, identify the transaction that appears. So we're looking for the bank one account, and that should be month 12. Okay, month 12. Now we're looking for 100 here. 100 here, that is transaction 21. So transaction 21 has been reconciled. We should save that one and delete transaction 17. As simple as that. Okay, so we go back to our transaction edit, miscellaneous. Right, now remember this one, we shall not get a chance of redoing this. Oh, let's leave the correction for later. Let's leave it as it is for the moment. Now, what has been important, we have discovered that we have an error. Transaction number 17 is an error. Now we shall correct it here at the correct moment. Now what we're going to do is going back to the list of outstanding creditors. We went to cash register. Let's take a direct route to see. That's the mini year-end reports checklist. Let's move quickly to the final trial balance. No, let's go to C3 year-end comparative trial balance, and clicked the wrong button. We want C3. Just a minute, it's loading up. Yes, now C3 shows us tax outstanding brought forward of 3410, and at the end it's still outstanding. That's what we're going to pay. All right, we're going to use this source document. It's a payment voucher. Okay, let's get to our device here. Now we are going to pay this using the two-entry form. Form number 6. Now, where is the money coming from? It's coming from the bank account. Okay, let's select. Now, the bank account, we're going to type in, bank one. Bank one is there. It's selected, and where is it going to? It's going to tax outstanding. So we type in TAX. Now, tax outstanding. The date is the 30th of March. Let's look at this two-entry form. Tax outstanding, the amount is 3410. Scroll to the right, and that is document number 17. The narration. Say previous year tax. Previous. We want a previous year tax. Let's see. Okay, previous year tax. Okay, let's stop this. Good. Cancel. Wanted to stop this text prediction. Yes, it stopped. Now we have recorded everything, and we're ready to save. So let's save and close. 3 for 10. Okay, that's it. Now that means our reconciliation form will be lacking something. Now this one doesn't appear on the bank statement. Do we have to correct that one? Let's scroll up. 3 for 10. 3 for 10. Yes, it doesn't appear on the bank statement, so we're going to add it down here, and it's supposed to be on the 30th of March. All right, we insert it into there. This is for illustration purposes, of course. Now Control D. Now this is tax paid. Tax paid. So this is, now let's scroll. Now let's see what is in there. Control D. We have the balances being modified. The balances should change. Balance is not changing. Balances should change. The one at the bottom is not changing. GAT. Okay. Now we should copy a formula here. Well, the amount is missing. That is why. 3 for 10. 3 for 10. Enter. So the closing balance has changed. Very good. Now we're missing a tick there. So now we're going to do that during this reconciliation process, because we've added an entry on the bank account, and there should be a difference on the reconciliation form. So we come to periodic tasks and reports. Now before we do that, I think we should trace the double entry quickly. All right, let's trace the double entry quickly. Looking for report P5, and that is month 12. Month 12, scroll down, month 12. Okay, now we are looking for the last transaction. This should be on the bank account 205. That's the 3 for 10 there, transaction number 22, and then account is 254. Tax outstanding has been paid of 3 for 10. Now we're only seeing the debit entry. We don't see the balance brought forward because this is only month 12. If we want to see the balance brought forward, then we need to look at the annual account. So the double entry has been confirmed. Now we need to update our reconciliation. That is P3 monthly reconciliation. Right, let's go to bank 1 and we select month 12. Month 12, pinch. Now the opening balance is correct, but the closing balance is not correct, and it does not show a difference. Why? Because this is not ticked. The moment we tick this, the difference will come up. What is the cause of difference? 3,410. And we have a difference because it's not reflected. Let's drag this. We have a difference because it's not reflected in the closing balance. The closing balance recorded is not correct. So when we change this closing balance to 4364, then the difference should disappear. So click them. All right. So the closing balance is 4364. And once we enter the correct amount, the difference disappears. We have a difference of 0. And we have updated our reconciliation form. Okay, let's go back to our source document. So we've recorded the previous year tax that was paid. Now let's have a look at the impact on the reports. Now, which reports are being impacted by this transaction? Well, the bank account is impacted, but the most important is the current liabilities account, the bank account, the liability account, the tax outstanding report, other current liability reports. Let's scroll down. So let's look at other current liability accounts. Now here we're going to see all the transactions on account 254. Yes, it's at the bottom here. That's account 254. Should we pinch it a bit further? So this is the account. The balance brought forward is 3410 amount owed, and then paid on the 30th of March. Previous year tax was 3410. So the balance on this account is a 0. And of course, the impact of this is felt on the bank account, as we have seen. So that is how we record previous year tax that's paid. Now we are yet to record the computed tax for this current year. That one was for the previous year that is paid during this year. And the tax for this current year is going to be computed after the end of this current year and will appear in the opening balances of the following financial year, and that is when it will be paid. Thank you so much. In case of any questions, please send us an email or find us on Skype, Accounts Coaching, or Moses at DIY Tax Return. Thank you.